At the entrance to the Gotham County Fair, a man with his arms crossed has a warning to give. "I'm sorry, but it's what it is, alright? It's rules. Superhero night. Got to be a superhero to come in. And you all ain't superheroes." Selina Kyle, Lois Lane, Clark Kent, and Bruce Wayne are standing together in front of the boy, looking at him. Bruce just replies, "Yeah." Away from the entrance to Superhero Night, the quartet approaches the car that is waiting for them. The driver is standing outside, and the back door is open. "We'll go someplace else," Bruce announces to the driver. "It took us an hour to agree to this. I'm starving," complains Selina, standing next to him. "I'm sorry, you see, when this fair was in Smallville," Clark says uncertainly. "Well, there is a solution, right?" It's Lois who asks. "It's not as if you don't have costumes." She remains optimistic. "No." Bruce replied dryly. "Hey, that's an idea. We could..." "Yeah." Clark continues, scratching his head. He goes on to say something more. But, wouldn't everyone see that we look too much like we look?" "Well, you have all the stuff here, and you could just switch it around. He's you, and you're him, and all that, and no one knows anything." Lois insists. "No." Once again, Bruce denies her idea. Selina gives Bruce a half hug and addresses the other couple. "What my kind, patient fiancé means is that he sees that his kind, patient fiancé is tired and hungry, and he'll do what he needs to do to remedy that situation." Selina looks at Bruce and asks, "Isn't that what you mean, darling?" "No," denies Bruce again, in the same short way. The four of them go to a changing room to change their clothes, as Lois's idea might not be so bad after all. Bruce tries to put on a pair of blue pants when a hand appears above his booth, holding a red cape. "The S stands for hope," says Clark, referring to the big S on the cape. Bruce replies, looking at this piece of uniform. In another booth, Selina observes Lois holding her black costume against her body. "It stretches," Selina guarantees, to which Lois replies, "It's better," looking at the costume. "The bat stands for a bat," says Bruce, passing his costume over the door, while Clark, embarrassed, stares at the symbol on the uniform. "Oh, sure." Behind the closed door of her booth, Lois is curious. "So, what are you going to say, super journalist?" "I got a plan. It's, subtle," Selina replies from outside, adjusting the dress that Lois was wearing earlier. They decide to take another chance to enter the superhero night. Back at the entrance to the Gotham County Fair, the boy from before is still not entirely convinced. "Okay, they're all good to go," he says, referring to Clark, Bruce, and Lois. "But what are you supposed to be?" he asks Selina suspiciously. She's the only one without a superhero costume, just wearing Lois's dress. Selina brings her face close to the guy's without saying a word, while he stares at her dumbfounded. Selina comes even closer. "Meow." She makes her Catwoman sound, then she moves away a little, and now the guy is blushing and staring at her. "Oh, well," he stutters. "Meow." Again, Selina answers, only making the sound. They continue to stare at each other, saying nothing. Selina maintains a seductive gaze while the poor guy still looks dazed. "Okay, you're good." He agrees, surrendering. "Great, thanks." Selina smiles. So the four of them manage to get into the event. Lois is dressed as Catwoman, while Bruce is dressed as Superman, and Clark is dressed as Batman. This could be fun. Clark approves, being optimistic. "This will be fun." Selina agrees, but Bruce keeps opposing. "No," he says again. The first stop of the night is to go for corn dogs. "Going to have to kick a lot of trees to work this off," adds Bruce as they munch on their snacks. Clark recalls, "I kicked a tree once. I felt so bad I spent the rest of the day planting 800 saplings outside Smallville." Continuing to enjoy the evening, the four of them are now eating sweets in front of the Hammer game. "I don't need it," assures Lois, hugging Clark's arm, who stares at the Hammer game from behind his glasses. The next ride they choose is the Tunnel of Love. At the end of the Tunnel of Love, the first boat to appear is Clark and Lois. "That was nice," Clark states, while Lois snuggles into his chest. "Yeah, it was nice." Another boat passes through the exit. Inside, a rather graphic scene. Selena and Bruce are making out on the ride. Without wasting any time, they move on to the next ride. It's a court for hitting baseballs with a bat. Clark and Bruce go into play, while the women stand outside waiting. "They need a faster setting. This is too easy," says Bruce, not satisfied with the level of difficulty. "Yep." Clark agrees, hitting a ball. Bruce also managed to hit one and says, "I could look at the machine, make some adjustments." Clark teases, "Or, Bruce, I suppose I could pitch to you. Unless you're, scared." Bruce holds the bat tighter in his hands. "Of embarrassing you." A ball comes and he hits it. While the guys are enjoying hitting balls, the ladies are outside chatting. Lois, resisting her natural curiosity as a reporter, finally blurts, "I have so many questions. I mean, him?" Selena, clutching a plush toy, hesitates. Lois takes a sip and hands the flask to Selena. Why would anyone... Why? That's all I'm asking. Why? It's... Selena sips from her flask as she searches for the right words. "It's just, when I fall, he catches me." I know, it's stupid. Does that make any sense at all? She questions her own reasoning. Even during playing sessions, the men keep talking on the court. Clark says, "She's a criminal. If I remember correctly, you war on criminals." "Just saying, pal. It's an odd match." Bruce replies, "Your identity is perhaps the world's greatest secrets. Lois is the best reporter out there. A woman dedicated to uncovering the world's greatest secrets." "Just saying, pal." "I'd throw it right past you. You wouldn't see a thing." Clark shrugs, preparing to hit another baseball. "You'd be surprised what I see," Bruce said, seeming to want to say something more. Back outside, Selena and Lois sit on the ground, sharing personal stories. Lois talks about her father's expectations for her to be in the army, handling guns, while Selena hints at her own father's absence. They laugh together, sharing a warm moment. Selena puts her head on Lois's shoulder, who in turn rests her head on hers. "I'm getting married," Selena says. "You're too young," Lois points out. "I am too young, thank you." The Catwoman agrees, as Lois happily says, "You're welcome." The group heads towards the next ride, with the men and women chatting separately. Clark asks Bruce if he ever get tired of ginger ale, and Bruce replies, "Every damn day." Suddenly, the Question appears, grabs Lois's pink bag and shouts dramatically, "The question isn't who is going to let me. It's who is going to stop me." Shocked for a moment, Lois and Selena then both burst out laughing, hiding their faces. Bruce grabs a ball from a nearby stall, and Clark uses his X-ray vision to locate the question precisely. Preparing to act, Clark counts down as Bruce readies his throw. Just as the question tries to escape, proclaiming, "Honor is self-esteem made visible in action," Bruce's throw hits him, knocking him to the ground. The question shakily mutters, I think I will." After the incident, the two couples, Clark and Lois, Selena and Bruce, split up to explore different attractions. Clark vents to Lois about his frustrations with John's baseball skills, but Lois tries to redirect his attention to the beauty of the stars. Meanwhile, Selena, thrilled with the high-speed ride, is the opposite of Bruce, who's preoccupied with theoretical limits of speed in baseball. Later, all four gather near a pile of superhero-themed balloons. They joke and tease one another, reflecting on the differences in their relationships. As they walk through the fair, they share deeper reflections. They conclude that while their relationships are opposite, none of them has the answers. Batman admits he struggles without a role model for relationships, and Lois reveals her complicated feelings about right and wrong, shaped by her upbringing. Clark reassures Bruce, reminding him he does well in the dark. As they leave the fair, the group's bond has deepened. Lois jokes about attending Selena's wedding, inviting herself, while the two men exchange heartfelt congratulations, acknowledging each other's partners. The two heroes stand face to face, exchanging a handshake. Clark regrets. It's too bad we didn't get a chance to pitch and hit. Bruce adds, yeah, maybe next time. For a moment, they stared at each other, not saying a word, still shaking hands. Bruce then says, I know a place. Clark replies, we're switching clothes. After an eventful double date filled with surprises, the two couples are back in their own clothes. Clark, holding a baseball, says, up and away. Bruce replies with, vengeance is the night. Nearby, Selena shows Lois something she took. It's the mugger's wallet, which she swiped. Meanwhile, Bruce stands ready with a baseball bat as Clark levitates, preparing to pitch. Clark teases, you know what you're trying? It's impossible. Batman, determined, replies, I know. Clark just says, alright then. Lois and Selena watch, amused. These boys, they have so many problems. Lois sighs, but Selena just points out, yeah, that's true. But they also have so many abs. Finally, Superman pitches. Here's to the impossible! Batman hits, and the ball soars into the sky. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel.